My wife will like this. There's a ladybug. Leslie really likes ladybugs. So, this is just a quick video. And I'm standing here because it's really windy in Wisconsin today. And this is really the only out of the wind place I have. So I want to talk real quick about a really cool thing that's going on. I'm sure if you're in guitar YouTube land, you've probably heard of the Great Guitar Build-Off. Apparently a bunch of guitar builders, nobody asked me, but that's okay, I don't care, because I get to be a part of it anyway. We'll get into that in a minute. Basically they're just having a contest. They're putting together some kit guitars, and super fun to follow. Texas Toast Guitars, this whole thing started right about the time I was at Texas Toast Guitars in July, and so I kind of got to hear ahead of time their little secret idea. Now it's out, that triple neck crazy guitar, super cool. And actually in the Texas Toast Guitars entry, there is, you know, we did a pickup class where we actually built a pickup. Well, I didn't build it. We taught people how to wind a pickup, and then they gave it a shot, and two guys, well, Chris from Texas Toast and Jesse from Texas Toast, each wound a bobbin. They wanted to try it. Well, they ended up working. So we built it. I took the bobbins, I put them into a pickup with a cool carbon fiber cover, and that pickup actually made it into their guitar that they're auctioning off for charity as a result of this contest, which is really kind of cool. Have you guys tried this Laird Hamilton mushroom coffee? It's really good. So then about a couple weeks after that, Dan from Guns and Guitars, Dan Thompson from Guns and Guitars on YouTube, we'll put a link to his channel somewhere around here. And we'd been talking, like, you know, hey, we should do some collabs, right? Because it's been my goal for 2020 to do as many collabs as possible. I have this motorhome now, so now I can go anywhere. And so I was thinking it'd be fun to meet up with a couple of YouTubers. We've done 3 of them so far. So we did the one with John Garentz from Odessa Pickups in Kansas. That was really fun. Of course, we've done the Texas Toast Guitars one. That was really fun. And now with Dan from Guns and Guitars. He needed pickups. It was like an emergency situation. He had this guitar that he was trying to build. And if you watch his channel, and he's also got a lifestyle channel with him and his wife, explaining a bunch of problems they're having with their motorhome. He's been having a real tough time of it. He wouldn't say that. He wouldn't complain about it. It's RV life. But let's just say he's had a tough time the last couple months with his motorhome, giving him trouble and stuff. So he was really up against it. And I thought, well, I'm just going to make him a set of pickups. Well, it turns out he needs something really super special. So he wanted like a split P bass sort of thing, but in a humbucker setup. So I made it for him. And we actually met up in South Dakota, and I gave it to him. So now we got these pickups built. We're out here with Guns and Guitars. Dan, thanks for having me out to your
neck of
shop.
The woods.
Yeah. My shop is currently about 30 miles from here in a different woods. So I just want to talk real quick about, first of all, let's talk about the concept for the guitar before we get to the pickups, because the concept for the guitar is really what influenced how we did this whole custom pickup design. So give me your thoughts, and your viewers that watch your channel obviously already know this, but for those of you that are new to the Guns and Guitars world, what was your concept for this build?
So from the get-go, I'm a bass player. So when I was asked to be a part of the Great Guitar Build-Off competition, I knew from day one I was building a bass. And so I've also never built a PRS style guitar on my channel before. So I wanted to do something new in a couple of different ways. Something that my viewers have been requesting for a while is a short scale bass. And so naturally it made sense to me, I could take a PRS guitar body and turn it into a short scale bass. So
what's the scale?
this is a 30-inch scale. It's an Eden bass neck. They actually come pre-made like this. And it's actually a pretty good neck. It's nice and straight. It's gonna need some fret work done on it, but once I measured it, like the scale length and where the bridge is gonna go, it's the perfect scale.
Awesome. So the trick though is that if we wanted to make it look like a PRS and have that kind of classier look than just a bass, we got to figure out pickups that'll work for that.
You can't just use like jazz bass or P bass pickups.
No.
I tried. It doesn't look right.
No, it doesn't look to scale to the body and stuff. So trying to figure out some sort of packaging that would give us a bass pickup in humbuckers was a little bit challenging. So staggered 3 slugs. Now that we have it sitting on the guitar, we can definitely see that this string is going to ride right about here. The next string is going to ride right about here. The next string is going to ride right about here, and the next string is going to ride about here. So the idea is that each string is going to have 2 magnets, well 4, but 2 magnets per pickup, minimum, just like a normal P bass would have or a normal jazz bass. We'll throw up a picture here. When you look at a jazz bass or a P bass, you can now see how each string is, because of the weight of the string. When you're playing a bass, it's a lot of mass, and so for that to all work well with the magnetic field and stuff, 2 magnets per string. This is the only way I could figure out how to do it. I remember when you messaged me when you got the pickups, and you're like, wait a minute, why is there 3 on each instead of 2 on each?
Yeah, the OCD in me, he goes, this doesn't look like a bass pickup.
Right, but I wanted to make sure that staggering would cover all 4 strings.
Yeah,
perfectly.
So essentially what you're saying is this is going to create a magnetic field that's going to be more consistent across the strings.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't want to have any dead spots, and I think if we would have gone 2 and 2, because of this unique string spacing in comparison to what fits in a humbucker, because this is a 56-ish inch string spacing, and this is a 53-inch string spacing pickup. That's as big as you can get.
Millimeters, right?
Or millimeters, yeah.
Okay.
50 millimeters. It's as big as you can get 53 in a humbucker package. So to make it all work, going 3 and 3, it's pretty awesome. I think it's going to be fun, and you'll be
Which is probably why you don't see a whole lot of humbucker-sized bass pickups on the market.
It's totally true. So one of the things we did here too was we used ceramic magnets, and a lot of like vintage-minded guys are going to say, well, why did you use ceramic? That's for cheap pickups. We have a few videos about this on our channel.
Yeah.
Ceramic magnets are actually really good in this situation because of the size of the magnetic field that you can get in a smaller package. It's not going to make it sound harsh. It's not going to sound metallic. It's still going to sound like a bass. And then the other thing we did was we wound the bridge pickup just a little bit hotter than the neck. This thing is going to spank.
Heck yeah.
It's going to be good. What wiring are you like? Do you have a wiring concept here that you're going to do yet? Do you know?
I've dreamed up a few things. So again, I want to keep it looking like a PRS. So I'm just going to do 3 knobs.
Okay.
And I think maybe 1 switch is what I'm thinking. So I'm going to wire it so that I have a series parallel push-pull pot for the neck, which will be volume. A series parallel push-pull pot for the bridge, which will also be a volume. So they'll be in parallel like a jazz bass wiring.
It's going to be amazing.
And then instead of doing a master tone, I'm going to do a master volume, which also, if you don't put on a treble bleed kit, acts as a tone.
Right.
And that's going to have a push-pull pot for both of these pickups to be in series or parallel. Like the old Japanese Jaguar basses, you can put them both in series and it just punches. So I have a feeling that with both of these in parallel and then together in series, we're going to get some cool tone out of it.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm thinking about, and the reason why I said there might be an additional switch is I'm thinking about somewhere maybe putting on a kill switch, but because bass is such a rhythmic instrument, it's so much more about when you're playing than when you're not playing. I think I'm going to do a reverse kill switch. So the kill switch, what the switch will do is I'll engage the reverse kill switch, which will cut volume to the master volume, and then the momentary switch that will be the kill switch will actually be turning the volume on.
Oh,
So,
interesting.
Yeah. So you would pluck a note, it'll be silent, and then do 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 do. As opposed to being you know,
Right,
it's silencing it when
right.
you push it. It'll activate it when you push it.
I'm really excited to see that. And then that with a looper and some stuff, you would be able to do some really, really fun stuff.
I think that the possibilities would be endless. Yes.
Very cool. Well, I just want to thank Dan for actually meeting me in the middle of nowhere.
Dude, you're the one that drove 6 hours to be here.
I was on my way anyway. It's been fun because while I don't know what they're doing at Texas Toast, because when I was there they were still planning and they changed it up a bunch.
Yeah.
It was fun to work with those guys at the beginning of all of this, and then to be able to meet up with you. I didn't do anything with their project, but just to be there for it was pretty cool. And then to be able to meet up with you and see this stuff too. Make sure, if you are not familiar with Guns and Guitars, to go check out his channel. You know, on our channel we do a bunch of stuff about like basically using the gear that we have to be able to get the tone that we want and understanding how it all works together. On his channel, what I really like about what he does is you only have this many tools, and it might be a kit guitar, it might be a cheap guitar that you found on Craigslist, but making it into something that is playable, individual, and enjoyable to play, and inspiring to play.
Yeah.
I dig that about your channel. So
Thanks,
I think those two ideas put together, I think you'll get some real good content out of that. So there you go. What a fun project. What a fun thing to be a part of. Thanks to Dan at Guns and Guitars for letting me be a part of it. It wasn't really a plan. It was just like it was kind of funny. He was in South Dakota or Wyoming or somewhere, and we knew we were going to be around the same area at the same time because, well, go watch his channel. Go watch his video about his build, and you'll see kind of the funny. Just go watch it. It's really good, and to hear what that guitar sounds like too, because obviously I can't give you a sound sample. I don't know what the guitar sounded like when it was done. However, I will tell you that has definitely inspired me. Sorry about the wind. Let's walk over here. That has definitely inspired me to do something with that design in a 6-string guitar, and I'm maybe even in a bass. I don't know. I'm kind of. We'll have to do something with it because I think it's really cool. But go to Guns and Guitars, watch his video. He'll have links to the auction, to all that stuff, so you can be a part of that. I think it's gonna be really awesome. Thanks again, Dan. Thanks Texas Toast also for giving me a shout out in their video, how we were involved with that project a little bit. These collaborations are really fun. I want to do more. We're on the road, man. We're in Wisconsin right now. We'll be in Michigan next week. We'll be in Michigan the week after. Stay tuned for more stuff. I got a really cool video coming up this coming Monday also. And then if you're new to the channel, make sure you check out our live Q&A thing we do every Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So usually videos Mondays and Thursdays, but this Friday thing was a little bit of a special thing because of Dan. So thanks a lot, and we'll talk to you soon.